Hi, my name is Liberty, and I teach on connection, validation, and responsibility slash reason. And that is what your subconscious runs on. That's what your subconscious is looking for at any given moment, any time of the day. You're looking for places or people or yourself to connect with. You're looking for the world to make sense, and you're looking for a why, a reason. Sometimes it's as big as changing the world, and sometimes it's as small as maybe doing a painting. What I'm talking about today is how it relates to the question, why do Christians commit suicide? Now, this is going to sound completely out of the blue. Hear me out. At any given moment of any given day, we're looking for connection, validation, and responsibility. So CVR. And I've got those represented by 3 collapsible trash cans. So here's what goes on. You have people that you connect with. The short answer is Christians commit suicide because they're human, and this is why humans commit suicide. So, at any given time of the day, you're looking for connection, you're looking for stuff to make sense, you're looking to do something in work, in play, responsibility, reason. You can't have one without the other. And normally, in any given day, any given time of the day, wherever you're going, you're getting these 3 pillars filled with something. Okay, you're hanging out with somebody, you've got someone telling you you're awesome, you're doing something that is helping somebody else out. Whatever it is you're going about your day doing is filling these pillars. Now, what happens is when life gets stressful and we're getting pressure down, if there is stuff in here, and these are small and squishy, and I would prefer to have something like, those plastic ball pit balls? Yeah, I'd prefer to use those, but we work with what we got. So if you have something in here, it can't go down to 0. There is still stuff in there. You can still keep going. However, if a person gets to the point where their 3 pillars are completely and totally empty, and let me clarify something here. This is your internal system. We're going to call it the lizard brain. Is it the official one? No, I needed to give it an acronym. I needed to give it a name. That's what we're calling it. Your lizard brain, your subconscious, is at all time looking for these 3 things, and it's looking for it reflected in your environment. So not just the idea that somebody loves you, but the proof, the living, breathing proof that you matter, the living, breathing proof that you are carrying responsibility and you matter in the tribe, the living, breathing proof that what you see and how you view the world and how you interact with people, everything is reflecting back in a way that makes sense. Think about women who stay in abusive relationships. Do they stay because it's good? No, they stay because it makes sense. They know how their boyfriend or their husband moves and how he acts, and if they just orient themselves perfectly, things are going to work fine. It's not how it works, but that's an entire other thing. If a person gets completely devoid of all 3 things, there is no connection, the world does not make sense, and they can't do anything of meaning, or they feel like they can't do anything of meaning. Pressures come down, completely empty. The brain is looking for the exit, not the person, the brain. This works completely independently of a person's actual choice. So what does a person do? A person has to be making sure that they are orienting themselves and they are making choices where they feel connected, and they are feeling that they're finding a why that they can carry, that they're bringing something to the world. For parents, this is going to be taking care of your kids. If a parent doesn't feel like they have the ability to take care of their kids, the brain is going to do the math where, oh, they're better off without me. I'm not saying that math is right. I'm saying that's what the math is doing. So it's up to the person to make sure that you are putting in something tangibly. You want the world to make sense. It could be something as simple as Minecraft. I'm not saying that's the answer to all your problems. I'm saying Minecraft is something where you're doing something and the world is reflecting back on you. Same with journaling. So a person wants to be orienting themselves at all times to be filling these pillars, finding ways to be connected that matter to you, finding places in the world that make sense, that matter to you, carrying weight in the tribe, carrying a responsibility, your why, that makes sense and resonates with you. Because if you do that, There will always be something in these pillars. So when life gets heavy, there's something in here to keep you tethered. Now you might be thinking, cute presentation, Liberty, but this is no, Liberty. Some people commit suicide because there's something chemically wrong in their brain. So this is not the end all answer. We're both right, actually. Remember I said what we're calling the lizard brain is looking for connection, validation, and responsibility, or reason. If I could squish those two words together, I would, but because that's what this is. But the brain is looking for it. Why might the brain not find it? Why is it sometimes it's a chemical thing and sometimes it's an environmental thing? Turns out it matters if they're affecting these pillars, and there are 5 reasons for pillar deficit. And the first one is environmental deficit. My environment doesn't contain what I need for my pillars. Once again, the pillars are connection, validation, and responsibility. Your environment is where you have to source the raw materials for those pillars. So do you have access to people who actually know you? Are you in a place where your reality gets acknowledged or constantly overwritten? Do you have control over your circumstances, or are you trapped in somebody else's structure? Category 2 is active siege. Someone with structural power over me is actively dismantling my pillars, and I can't fully escape them. This is different from category 1. Category 1 is the absence of what is needed for these pillars. Category 2, there is an actor with structural power over you, and they're collapsing your pillars in real time. And the normal exits are blocked. Is there someone who can cut me off from people, roles, or resources that I rely on? And are they actually doing it? Is there someone whose version of reality is being treated as truth over mine in ways that count? Is there someone who can override or revoke my ability to act on my own behalf? And these are just some examples to get you started. Category 3 is pillar damage. The raw materials exist, but my pillars are compromised. So we got these nice solid pillars here. Imagine if they were full of holes or bent. We're not going to just be able to put stuff in here and expect it to sit. This is different from category 1. So the questions here are there people who care about me, but I can't feel it, can't trust it, can't let it in? Do people acknowledge my reality, but I still can't believe it? Do I dismiss validation as soon as I receive it? Do I have options and autonomy, but I feel paralyzed or unable to act? So that's category 3 pillar damage. Category 4 is skills deficit. This is a sneaky one. I don't know how to build or maintain my pillars. This one is often invisible because people assume everyone knows how to do this, but they don't. Do I know how to build connection, or do I just wait for it to happen? Do I know how to validate myself, or am I entirely dependent on external sources? Do I know how to create agency and responsibility, or do I only feel capable when someone else structures my life? Category 5 is signal malfunction. My warning system itself is compromised. This is where neurological issues live. Ta-da! I got there. This is including things like traumatic brain injury. This would be where medication could actually be the right tool. If you give medication for those first 4, you're basically, I'm not diagnosing that as gaslighting, but that sounds like gaslighting. For teenagers specifically, this is a question of neurological capability. Teens are running on the equivalent of exposed wiring because their neurological coding, myelination, is still in progress. The brain doesn't fully myelinate until the mid-20s. So just a note, go easy on teens. They're running adults programming with half-built structures, because that's what it means when we say they're still developing. So here's the questions for that. Is my distress proportional to my circumstances or wildly out of scale? Do I have solid pillars, a functional environment, and the skills to maintain them, but I still feel like I'm dying? Is there a family history of brain chemistry issues? Have I had head injuries or major hormonal shifts or other physical events that might affect brain function? If you would like a copy of my book called The Mind, it is available on Amazon. I am happy to answer any further questions, and I'm going to be doing more and more deep dives on connection, validation, and responsibility / reason as I go forward, but I wanted to get this out there and in front of you. Thank you so much for your time for watching. I am happy to answer any and all questions in the comments.